Welcome to the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College Chemistry Crash Course, Part 2.
So, as I was saying, today I shall talk about acid rain. Being a broad term that includes any form of precipitation such as rain, snow, hail, fog, or even dust with a pH below 5. But be careful not to confuse normal and acid rain when testing, because runoff and reactions can cause rainwater to be naturally acidic. As it rains, the water reacts with carbon dioxide to form carbonic acid and a weak acid. Both the sulfur from the fuels and the nitrogen in the atmosphere are oxidized, and the sulfur becomes sulfur dioxide. And because of the heat in the car or the furnace, the nitrogen becomes nitrogen dioxide, both which are very acidic. Sulfur can also be oxidized using free radicals high in the ozone layer. Here, sulfur dioxide is also formed. What makes acid rain really tricky is that the process becomes somewhat cyclic, since the sulfur can also be oxidized by the nitrogen oxide to form sulfur trioxide and nitrite oxide. Then the nitrogen dioxide is reformed from the nitric oxide and oxygen in the air. Earlier, Tibina spoke of nitrogen making over 75% of the atmosphere. This same air is what enters the engines of cars and leaves a high chance for the nitrogen and oxygen to react. Both types of acid rain now have to depose, and they can be either wet or dry, but both are aided by wind. Now there's the situation where no matter how bad the acid rain, it can fall on limestone and the acidity will become neutralized. But there's another time where acid rain can completely destroy an environment because it has no natural buffers.
And this is where I come in to talk about the negative effects that acid rain has on our environment. Acid rain has been shown to have adverse impacts on forests, freshwaters, and soils, killing insect and aquatic life forms as well as causing damage to buildings and having impacts on human health. We can first look at how acid rain affects the growth of organisms. Using a simple experiment of leaving a piece of bread soaked in vinegar and other in water, we can see that after a week the bread in water will mold and the bread in vinegar will not. This is because acidic conditions stop many enzymes from working and thus causing them not to grow. Many compounds are insoluble in the neutral soil, but with acid rain, the water becomes acidic and soluble to the compounds which are taken up by the plants. Next, we can see how it affects the ocean. Acid rain causes the acidity to rise, making it more difficult for different coastal species to create the exoskeletons that they need to survive. Coral even disappear because they try to neutralize the acid. Acid rain can also damage buildings, historic monuments, and statues, especially those made of rocks such as limestone and marble, that contain substantial amounts of calcium carbonate. But the most devastating effect is on us humans, since fine particulate matter in the air contribute to heart and lung problems, including asthma and bronchitis.
So to recap, the nitrogen cycle has 4 stages: nitrogen fixation, nitrification, ammonification, and denitrification. But we humans are greatly affecting the balance of this cycle. One major effect of this is acid rain, which leads to much greater effects on the environment. Thank you for watching.